Hello and welcome to Friday Night Magic here on StephenPlays. Last week we got started on Amonkhet and completed the trial of the first god, the cat god. Today we're doing the bird god. I'm not exactly sure what color the bird god is. Maybe blue, maybe they're going in the color order. I'm inclined to say it's blue because this is all blue, but they're ghosts, so it might be black. The grand illusionary labyrinth within Kefnet's monument twists and turns you in all directions. You are in the domain of the god of knowledge, who challenges you to employ your wits to pass through. Okay, it's blue. The walls themselves move like liquid beneath your touch. Strange, phantasmal forms grasp at you. You struggle to make sense of your bewildering surroundings before you are lost. You have versus the Trial of Knowledge. Oh, Jesus. Okay, Kefnet's first trial. There are two challenges to overcome if you hope to proceed. To overcome the first, defeat the Sphinx this turn. Okay, so this is interesting. I have 4 health, and he has 10. When they say Sphinx, do they mean literally this Sphinx, Curator of Mysteries? It's a flying that has 4/4. They've also got 2 fog banks, which are 0/2 defending flying walls. And that also prevents all damage, or combat damage, rather. I've got Vizier of Tumbling Sands, a 1/3 human cleric. I can untap another target permanent. And when you cycle it, well, that doesn't matter now. Cycling only applies to the hand. Glyph Keeper, a 5/3 Flying Sphinx. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, counter that spell or ability. And you can also embalm. I've got 2 of those. I've got 6 mana. I've got Magma Spray. It deals 2 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. And Open into Wonder. X target creatures can't be blocked this turn. Until end of turn, those creatures gain, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So my objective is simply to kill the Sphinx. Okay, sure. So, let's see here. If I try and do mortal damage to the player, he'll obviously have to block, but I can't let him block with the fog walls, right? Let's see. Untap another target permanent. And this is X target creatures can't be blocked this turn. Until end of turn, those creatures gain, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. See, that's confusing to me. If it wants me to kill the Sphinx, I could kill... I feel like I can kill that guy. If I make my creatures unblockable, then I can swing and win. But I don't think that's what it wants me to do. I believe it said specifically to kill the Sphinx. Huh. And I'm currently in my first main. Let me see what happens when I just attempt to, you know, straight up kill this guy. Because all I have to do in order to make that happen is cast Open into Wonder on my guys, on my 3 dudes. They can't be blocked this turn. Until end of turn, those creatures gain, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So, if I do that, I can swing for 10 and win. Okay, so I need 3. So, I really only need 2, to be honest. Yeah, I guess I only technically need 2, because these are the only guys that are going to swing. So let's do it here and here. Cycle through available mana. That should be fine. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Now I understand. Now I get it. Whenever Glyph Keeper becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, counter that spell or ability. It doesn't matter whose ability it is. Oh. I get it. I get it. Oh, wow. Huh. Well, this is interesting. So I'm no longer unblockable. Untap another target permanent. Okay, well now I'm screwed because I didn't even think about that. So let's, for the sake of trying it, go into the attack step. I'm not unblockable. That did not happen. Let's swing here. Confirm attack. So what's going to happen is he's going to block each of my 5/3s with his 0/2s. Certainly. And then I, actually, what? Okay, well, if I'm supposed to kill this thing, then I may have just done it. Okay, now it's my second main. And once again, if I was supposed to kill that Sphinx, I actually did it. Okay, the swirling mists overtake you and the Sphinx soars victoriously. Determined to prove yourself worthy, you begin again. Defeat the Sphinx this turn. I think when they're... I mean, I technically did defeat the Sphinx. Because you blocked with the Sphinx. Okay, so it must have nothing to do with the Sphinx. It must be... get the trial, who I guess they're now referring to as the Sphinx, which is a little confusing. Remove all of the trial's health. Which is something I'm going to have to think through. Because the little force fields on this mean that if they become the target of a spell or ability, the first time that happens, that gets countered. Untap another target permanent. Magma Spray deals 2 damage to target creature. So, what I really need to do is I need to cast this on my guys. But I need to make them unblockable first. So, my question is, untap another target permanent. Can I do that? Am I allowed to do that even if the target is untapped already? Apparently I am. Okay, let me deal 2 damage to this guy then. Well then that should be all I need to do. So now I'll choose a value for X of 2, and I will make these 2 unblockable. And cycle through available... mana combinations. It doesn't matter because I don't have any other cards. Alright, so I'm unblockable and I can swing for 10. Attack with all. You guys can't block me. Confirm attack. $10 damage. So that is, I'm assuming, what it wanted me to do. Probably. Hopefully. Puzzle solved. Excellent. Prepare yourself for the final challenge of this trial. Kefnet the Mindful awaits. That was a little weird because that was nothing more than an extravagant tutorial. Because you have all these tutorials that teach you different mechanics of the game. Hopefully this is not that. Oh god. To overcome this trial, defeat Kefnet. Physical combat is useless here. You must find another way. Oh god, just let me play Magic. What is this? Sands of Delirium. X and tap. Target player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Okay, so I have to mill you. That's got to be what this is. Traumatized. Target player puts the top half of his or her library rounded down into his or her graveyard. Thought Scour. Target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Draw a card. Okay, so this seems pretty easy already. All I need to do is play Traumatize. If I do Traumatize, they'll have to put 15 cards into their... oh wait, I will die this turn. Oh, okay. I thought I had 2 turns. If I had 2 turns, it'd be easy. I play Traumatize, they go down to 15 cards. Next turn, I tap this for all of my cards, and they mill the rest. Okay, let's see here. So Traumatize is helpful, but it costs 5. This allows me to draw a card. Drawing a card just in general could be very useful. I don't know what I'm going to draw. So for the sake of argument, let's just say that this is what I want to do first, because that gets rid of the most cards. This always is going to be the most helpful or the earliest. So let's go ahead and play this. Okay, that gets rid of some of their cards. I'm going to go ahead and play this because I want to see what happens when I... yeah, puts the top 2 cards of his or into... Okay, yeah, let's play that on myself. Or does it matter? It doesn't matter. Target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or grave. Draw. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter who puts the cards into the graveyard. It's draw a card. So I think if I do it to them, I still get to draw a card. And it is an island. I basically got to do that for free. Okay. Unfortunately, the only thing that lets me do is target player puts the top X cards into the graveyard. Okay. That's just 10. So I could do 10. And that leaves you with 3, but that's not enough to mill you. And then my turn ends. You can swing at me for 5 and I die. Okay, So I'm basically... I need to get rid of 2 more cards. So that's what I gotta figure out. I gotta figure out how to get rid of 2 other cards. So I've been staring at these cards for like several minutes, trying to figure out if there's, you know, some secret here that I'm just not aware of. Like if there's some way that they can interact with each other on the stack, and there's not. There's nothing that makes sense to me looking at this stuff. All of this stuff is going to behave in the order that the stack resolves, and it's not going to make anything weird happen. So I have another theory, and it's the only thing I can come up with. Earlier, I drew a card, which I'm assuming is always going to be the same. I'm assuming the deck is not getting shuffled. But that card was a land, and it did not really help me. I don't know if this is right, but there's a chance that other cards could be other things, right? So, for example, if I play Thought Scour on myself, I'm going to start by milling my 2 cards, and I'm drawing the 3rd card. Son of a gun, it's something new. What is this? Psychic Spiral. Shuffle all cards from your graveyard into your library. Target player puts that many cards from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Oh my god. So that's how you do it. You have to... That's dumb. Sorry, that's really... Like, it's like a riddle type thing, but it's stupid because this is the first time you're playing this deck. You don't even know what cards are in the stupid deck. You didn't know that this was in here. So your initial, you know, thought is to, well, I'm going to use these cards to mill the opponent. It's not quite enough. So, like, you don't really have an option but to mill yourself. But it's still dumb. The setup for it is really stupid. But once you use Thought Scour and mill the top 2, the 3rd card is this. So now there's a new objective, and that objective is get 30 cards into my graveyard, basically. Okay, well, let's traumatize myself. I've now got 26 cards in my graveyard, which means that if I play this for 4, I will put 30 cards into my graveyard, then I can play Psychic Spiral. And now they have to put 30 cards from their deck into their graveyard, and that's how you win. That's dumb. Sorry. Like, I understand that they're trying to do things a little differently, and you had to, like, think outside the box, but there really wasn't any thinking here. It was basically play these mill cards. Oh, wait, you can't win. Realize that you can play Thought Scour on yourself. Oh, you have this new card that is a mill card. Oh, I guess we play the card. I mean, I understand that Magic Duels is trying to make things interesting, but that was... it was a little meh. You managed to compose your thoughts and outwit the labyrinth. As you pass through the final doorway, you suddenly find yourself before Kefnet. He does not look up as you enter. He anticipated your arrival long ago. He offers you his reward, the cartouche of knowledge. Now that you have proven your mental fortitude, the trial of strength can begin. Neat. But screw you, Kefnet. That was... I mean, there's definitely times where they've tried to do weird, interesting things, and I don't even have a problem with, like, you know, there is a particular way to solve this puzzle in Magic, and because it kind of teaches you ways to think outside the box when playing. But that one was kind of weird, especially because you don't know the deck. You don't know what cards are in your deck. Anyway, I'm hoping that next episode we get back to a more traditional Magic sense. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week for more Stephen Plays Friday Night Magic.